Do you need proof that there's no out there, that reality, what we call reality, isn't real at all? That's what we're going to talk about today. My name is Wanda Vitale, and I'm the founder of the Empowered Empaths. And I work with energy sensitive people, whether you call yourself an empath or not. This is a time on the planet when we are being invited to level up. We're being invited to question, who am I really? Am I my ego, or am I something else? And where we all get hung up is that we believe that there's an out there. We believe in the validity of what we experience, and we react to it. And without fail, that's what messes us up. Everybody. I heard about a recent Nobel Prize award a few days ago, and I was just so excited to see this. If you're a geek like I am, this may be just what you need, because in 2022, the Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to three scientists who proved the non-locality of reality. And we'll get into this, but this is something that spiritual seekers, mystics like me, and quantum nerds like me have been hinting at and saying for decades. Their work confirmed that particles can be entangled in such a way that a change to one instantaneously affects the other, no matter the distance between them, like across galaxies. This isn't just weird, it actually violates classical assumptions about time and space. And let's face it, most people in the world think time and space are real. But what exactly did they prove? They tested and confirmed quantum entanglement using something called Bell's theorem. And basically, it was a way to test if the universe plays by local realism, basically this idea that objects have definite properties, like an apple is an apple or a table is a table, and nothing can influence it. Here's the thing, the universe does not play by those rules. These experiments proved that local realism is false. Spooky action at a distance, which was Einstein's phrase for entanglement, is real. It proved that reality is fundamentally interconnected, meaning reality isn't local. Your thoughts, energy, and focus might actually, and do, influence outcomes in a very real and quantum way. Why does this matter to you, the spiritually aligned manifester? Because physics is finally catching up to what some of us have said all along. We're not separate, we're all connected. Consciousness is non-local, and your intention and awareness affect the field. The mind sees a solid cause and effect world, right? We think, oh, if I take this action, this happens. If I do this or push this, that happens. But Bell's theorem says, no way. The mind sees a solid cause and effect world. Bell's theorem that they use says, we think, well, if I push this, that happens, cause and effect. But it's because the mind craves linearity and certainty. But Bell's experiments reveal that the universe is not linear and separate. It's entangled and holistic. There is no clear this causes that in the quantum world. Everything's dancing in a web of possibility, in a web of interconnected potentials. They also proved particles don't have properties until measured. This is a big one. Your mind believes that things exist independently of observation, meaning an apple is always an apple, whether I observe it or not. That apple is always there, or the lamp on my desk here always exists, whether I observe it or not. That's what we believe. We believe in a solid reality that exists outside of us, whether we observe it or not. But quantum mechanics and Bell's theorem, by extension, proves that a particle's spin, position, or state doesn't exist until it's observed. We've all heard that saying, that question, if a tree falls in the forest, if we don't hear it, does the noise still exist? And the answer is no. So this is like saying your kitchen doesn't exist in a fixed way until you walk into it and look. The solid world that our minds cling to is a construction. It's just a construction, a best guess stitched together by your brain to make you feel safe, to help us navigate. There is no objective out there that's separate from you. The physical mind is obsessed with duality. I'm here, the world is out there. Where's my partner? What if this doesn't happen? Where's the money? I don't have the money in my bank account, right? It's this whole thing with duality. But Bell's theorem backs what mystics and yogis have said for millennia. You and the world are not two. So here's the thing. Bell's theorem finally proves that the universe is non-local, that it's not made of fixed things, and that observation or awareness, otherwise known as consciousness, is part of what brings reality into being. Your physical mind is perceiving a rendered version, a translated version, a reduced version of a much wilder, fluid, and interconnected quantum reality or quantum playground, really. What I'm saying is that what your mind sees as solid is actually just a cloud of probabilities. It collapses into temporary solidity with your focus, with your awareness, with the meaning that you give things. What we see as solid is actually based on where your attention goes. In other words, reality is more like a dream you're inside of, rather than a machine you're stuck in. Bell's theorem says reality isn't fixed, and here's the thing. If reality isn't fixed, then neither are you. You're just a bunch of particles, a bunch of energy vibrating. And with your focus and with your awareness, you're telling that field of vibrating energy what to do, how to take shape. And you exist everywhere. A part of you exists everywhere in every possibility. Everything the physical mind assumes is solid, your past, your limitations, your personality, your bank account, your debt, is a collapse of possibility into one temporary expression. And guess who collapses it? You do. You, through your focus, through beliefs, through your identity and observation. I focus on self-identity in my work with others because it is the only way, really, the most efficient way to change our lives, because we create our lives from the inside out. Our self-concept is the identity that we unconsciously believe ourselves to be. It's not just, I think I'm a kind person. It's deeper. It's embodied stuff like, I always struggle with money. Money's hard. I'm just not the type who gets chosen. I'm a late bloomer. I need to fix myself. Those aren't just thoughts. They are energetic commands to the field of possibility. They're lenses that filter what collapses into your experience. Quantum experience, including those that prove Bell's theorem, show that the act of observation changes what's observed. So your self-concept, who you believe you are at a deep unconscious level, becomes the observer that shapes the quantum soup of possibility into reality. Think about that. The The you that you wake up as every day is your default identity. Whoever that might be, things don't always work out for me. I don't always get what I want. I'm not enough. Life is hard. I'm not good with money. It's what I call our welcome to being human beliefs. It's this identity, default identity, which is for most people, the ego, the survival-based ego, is literally the spellcaster deciding which timeline gets pulled from the void. You can see it where people are fighting against a reality they don't want. They believe that action creates outward effect. They believe that because of their welcome to being human beliefs, this has to change. Or they believe that somebody else is going to change things. But it doesn't work that way. Everybody's experiencing their own personal dream. There's not one world. If there are 8 billion people on the planet, there are 8 billion different versions of the world. Everybody's experiencing their own dream, experiencing it differently. Manifestation isn't about forcing anything. It's not about action. What do I have to do? Isn't that what we always ask ourselves? It's our default question. If something happens that we don't like, some circumstances, we say, what do I have to do? But that's not the question. It's about being. The old school manifestation is think positive thoughts, make a vision board, hustle, stay high vibe. Doesn't work. It's putting a Band-Aid on a broken identity. You attract who you believe you are. Quantum manifestation is real power. We shift into who we are being. The field doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you believe you are. So if you're still being the same version of yourself, but trying to create or attract a new life, the field says, hey, great story, but you're still that old vibration. Here's more of what matches that. Identity is the quantum lever. Want more money? Don't just visualize it. Be the version of you who already lives in overflow. Want to be seen and heard? Be the version of yourself who knows her voice is sacred, who knows her work is powerful, who knows that the right people find her. Every time you shift your self-concept, you're changing the observer, which reshapes the quantum field and what the quantum field reflects back to you. You stop reacting to 3D. You start commanding it through consciousness. So to sum it up, Bell's theorem proves that reality isn't local, linear, or fixed. It proves what John Wheeler said years ago. John Wheeler was the father of quantum mechanics. He said, there is no out there. Well, now, if you need proof, this is it. Bell's theorem proves it. Self-concept determines what reality shows up. Manifestation equals collapsing potentials into form based on who you are being. That's why your identity is everything. And the good news, you can change it any time. So if you're waiting for someone out there to change the world, you're that someone. If you're waiting for some technique, this is it. It's you. Who are you being? Be that now, and everything has to change. Hey, if you like this, be sure and hit subscribe, and the next time you start to react to out there, remind yourself, it's just a reflection. It's a mirror, and it's all you, and you get to decide what that is based on who you are being. Thanks for listening.